I think the biggest opportunity is again, implementation of ART. This is an opportunity for the U.S. and Taiwan to work even closer together, collaborate, and so I think it's a great opportunity. I think the Pax Silica is also another opportunity for the U.S. has brought Taiwan in, and I believe for Taiwan to show their strength as a technology supply chain partner. So again, it's opportunities. I think the ART gives an opportunity for a balanced collaboration and opportunity for investment on both sides.
And how do you feel signing the taxation avoidance agreement in the future between the US and
That's a great question, and one of our key messages to Washington is talking about the dual taxation agreement. It's at this point, Taiwan is out of the top 10 trading partners with the U.S. Taiwan is the only country without a dual taxation agreement. We think that implementation of that would give better opportunities for SMEs to go to the U.S. and also for American companies to come to Taiwan. We hear that it's making progress. Of course, we've heard it's making progress for many years. This is 15 years ago when I was on the board. This was also an issue that we were talking to, but it looks like now, and hopefully with the ART, it's an opportunity to move this farther forward in the near future.
The white paper is now officially available for download on our website or by scanning the QR code behind me. Please take some time to read through it. Oh, where's that? There we go. Read through it. It contains a wealth of business insights and practical policy recommendations. The release of this year's white paper also coincides with another major milestone for AmCham Taiwan, our 75th anniversary. For 3/4 of a century, this organization has served as a leading voice for the international business community here in Taiwan. Even in my 40 years here, we've seen Taiwan move from Christmas tree decorations to shoes, to precision manufacturing, to semiconductors, and now to AI. It's a tremendous progress. AmCham, we fulfill this role through a combination of advocacy, networking, and knowledge sharing, all with the goal of helping make Taiwan one of the best places in Asia to invest and do business. Our members, many of which have been here for decades, employ tens of thousands of people and play an important role in driving innovation and economic growth in Taiwan. Despite global uncertainty, Taiwan and the United States are experiencing what some are calling a golden age of economic relations. Last year saw US dollars $256 billion in two-way trade. If that number wasn't impressive enough, the United States became Taiwan's #1 trading partner in 2025 for the first time in over 25 years, over 2 decades. And Taiwanese imports to the US growing by 35%. Taiwan rose to the #4 spot as a US trading partner, its highest ranking ever, importing 30% more US goods than the year before. The Chamber wants to keep building on that momentum, and the suggestions our committees have put forward in this year's white paper are how we think they best can be accomplished. The paper itself is truly a labor of love. It represents months of work by our committees and member companies who come together every year to provide thoughtful, constructive recommendations to our partners in government on how Taiwan can remain globally competitive. We also include a section directed specifically toward Washington, reflecting our members' strong support for a deeper US-Taiwan relationship, especially when it comes to business, trade, investment, and economic cooperation. Strengthening that relationship has long been central to AmCham's mission because we believe closer ties benefit both sides. And that mission is symbolized this year in our white paper cover, our cover image, with AmCham portrayed as a bridge connecting Taiwan on one side and the United States on another. Since our founding, we've worked to be a trusted bridge between Taipei and Washington, representing the legitimate business interests of both sides and helping foster stronger economic ties grounded in mutual prosperity and shared values. That's the role we took up in 1951, and it's the role we'll continue to play well into the future. And on that note, I'll hand the mic over to Anita to explain the content of this year's white paper. Come on up.
Thank you, Carl. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to the 2026 AmCham Taiwan White Paper Press Conference. So let me walk you through the detailed content of this year's white paper. Now, the first thing you may notice about this year's edition is the sheer number of issues our committees evaluated. Unlike previous years, committees did not just assess broad policy themes. They also look and score progress on individual sub-issues raised in 2025. That gave us a more detailed picture of where the government is making progress step by step, even on some of the larger and more complex and long-term reforms. So in total, 237 suggestions from 2025 white papers were evaluated using our standard rubric. Issues can be classified as resolved, in good progress, under observation, stalled, or dropped. As you can see, this year, 7 issues were fully resolved and 49 show satisfactory progress. However, 161, near 70%, remain under observation or stalled. This points to a continued need for better coordination among government ministries and agencies and more decisive government action to reduce regulatory uncertainty. All right, so let's talk about the issues that were solved this year. Among the 7 issues that were solved, 1 each came from the Cosmetics, Insurance, Retail, and Semiconductor and Travel and Tourism Committee. Excuse me, it's Cosmetic, Insurance, Retail, and Travel and Tourism Committee, and 3 came from the Semiconductor Committees. All policies relate to hiring of foreign professionals. That is certainly good news, not just for the chips, but for Taiwan's broader goal of becoming an international business hub and a competitive place for international talent. We also saw meaningful momentum in several other sectors, especially among the chemical, asset management, public health, and technology committees. These examples show that when government and industry remain in close dialogue, tangible progress is possible. Looking ahead, AmCham has identified 4 broad policy issues for the coming year. The first is economic security, trade, and investment. We encourage Taiwan and the United States to continue building on the agreement on reciprocal trade signed earlier this year. This agreement creates important opportunities for deeper economic engagement and should be actively strengthened going forward. We also urge continued improvement to Taiwan's foreign investment approval process and greater alignment between local regulations and international standards. Regulatory inconsistency continue to create uncertainties, unnecessary costs, delays, and barriers to innovation. The second priority is energy and infrastructure resilience. Today, energy security is not just an economic issue, it is a national security issue. Reliable power and grid resilience affect every industry, especially as AI demand accelerates and geopolitical pressure continue to reshape global energy markets. To address these challenges, Taiwan is currently holding dialogues with US companies to ramp up purchase of American LNG under the ART. While AmCham does not prescribe a specific energy mix, we view this arrangement a vital step for Taiwan's energy security and its economic relations with the United States. We also encourage Taiwan to strengthen its digital resilience by building systems designed for continuity, recoverability, and adaptability. And this should be done across government, financial services, healthcare, and critical infrastructure providers. We call this approach resilience by design, and we cannot emphasize enough how important this is, not only to business, but also to the Taiwanese society as a whole. Digital technologies underpin every sector, every essential services of the society at this point, and any disruption to these systems could have far-reaching consequences. Of course, AmCham and our member companies stand ready to help on this and every other issue we raise here today in the white paper. Our third priority is Taiwan's growing role in AI and other strategic technologies, which creates a major opportunity. To fully capitalize on that opportunity, we recommend that Taiwan implement the right policy, environment, infrastructure, and regulatory framework to support long-term innovation. To that goal, we advocate for a regulatory framework that is principle-based, risk-based, and harmonized with evolving international standards. Given the rapid pace of technological development, it is essential to avoid any overly prescriptive rules that could stifle innovation or create premature compliance burdens. We encourage Taiwan to focus on consensus-driven approach that addresses specific harms or actual specific high-risk output or actual harms. And by doing so, we believe that Taiwan can foster a vibrant technology ecosystem. This balanced governance model ensures that regulatory oversight remains effective and flexible, encouraging bold innovation across the entire sector while robustly protecting the public interest. Our fourth priority is regulatory modernization and talent competitiveness. Our committees continue to call for stronger coordination across government agencies, more risk-based regulatory frameworks, and more consistent engagement with stakeholders. We also urge the Taiwan government to strengthen incentives for attracting and retaining international talent. And in healthcare, we continue to advocate for more transparent and predictable NHI reimbursement process so patients can access innovative therapies more quickly. So these are the principal messages for the Taiwan government. Let me now turn to our message to Washington. This year, rather than presenting our usual list of policy asks, we decided to focus on something broader, which is the strategic importance of the US-Taiwan relationship. Our goal is to remind policymakers in Washington, D.C. that stronger economic ties with Taiwan create clear benefits for both sides. Taiwan is an excellent and growing market for American companies. The Agreement on Reciprocal Trade, ART, opens additional opportunities across sectors such as LNG, aviation, automobile, and healthcare. Taiwan also offers very strong intellectual property protections, fair legal treatment, and a safe, welcoming environment for international professionals and their families. Taiwan plays a critical role as a trusted technology and supply chain partner for the United States. Taiwan's participation in initiatives such as the PAC Silica reflects growing cooperation in critical technologies. Taiwanese companies are also investing in America's future. TSMC's investment in Arizona is the most visible example, but it is far from the only example. Companies across a wide range of industries are expanding or planning major investment in the United States. That momentum, however, depends partially on Congress moving forward with legislation to prevent double taxation, which will help spur Taiwanese investment and job creation in America. Just as importantly, Taiwan and the United States are bound by shared democratic values and a commitment to free market principles. Taiwan's open and transparent environment allows international companies to operate with confidence and without fear of undue government interference. And finally, Taiwan remains an essential partner in maintaining stability and security in the Indo-Pacific. Taiwan's strategic position in the first island chain, its expanding role in critical technology development and production, and its efforts to address critical supply chain vulnerabilities all make Taiwan an increasingly important contributor to regional resilience. Ultimately, this year's white paper carries a simple message. Taiwan has made meaningful progress, but continued reform, regulatory modernization, and deeper international engagement remain essential to its long-term competitiveness. At the same time, the US-Taiwan relationship has never been more important. As AmCham celebrates the 75th anniversary as Taiwan's leading international business organization, we will continue to cement our position as the bridge between government and industry and between Taipei and Washington. And we'll keep working to ensure that Taiwan remains one of the US most dynamic and reliable economic partners. Thank you very much.
想看最完整的新闻内容，记得下载 TVBS 新闻网 APP。